Hi there, it's Kevin with Gathering Magic with this week's episode of the Rogues Alley. This week I want to try out a combo, which is the Samut Voice of Dissent with the Majestic Myriarch, which the Samut Voice of Dissent is a 3/4 double strike, vigilance, haste, flash. So a lot of abilities on one creature. It also has the ability to give other creatures you control have haste, and then white, you can tap it to untap another target creature. The Myriarch gains all the abilities of all creatures on the battlefield, on your side of the battlefield, at the beginning of your combat step, including flying, first strike, double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance. So a lot of people like to build this with a heavy creature-based deck with a lot of different abilities. I think that just Samut and the Myriarch together is pretty much a win con, even if you just have the two, as the Myriarch will come in as it has power and toughness that are equal to twice the number of creatures. It counts itself, so it's a 2/2. And then you have Samut out, it's a 4/4. So you have a 4/4 double striker and a 3/4 double striker. And if you have one other creature, or in this case, we get the zombies from the Hour of Promise that are still on the field, that's an additional +4/+4. And that is pretty much lethal at that point with the Myriarch. So we have another way to get the combo. We have a self-mill strategy with Champion of Wits and Cathartic Reunion to find the Hour of Eternity. So Hour of Eternity needs to be either 7 or 9 mana, preferably 9 mana, as you can target 2 Majestic Myriarchs, 1 Samut, or any other creature at that point that's in the graveyard, so that the Myriarch is a 6/6 with double strike and haste, and then it will be able to swing in with the Samut double strike and whatever else you have on there, hopefully for lethal. So we're going to try to get to that point, so we need to run a lot of control-based cards. So we're going to take the shell of the Jund control deck at the moment, using the 4 Star of Extinctions and 4 Hour of Devastations. And then we're also going to run the Gift of the Paradise and the Hour of Promise just to really clunk up the board. The other ramp card in this deck is going to be Spring to Mind. We're going to run 2 of those. And that way we'll be able to get to that mana that we want to be able to get to. And then we are also going to have a Rhonas the Indomitable for the Death Touch Trample combination, and as well as Glorybringers for some additional control that has the flying haste for the Myriarch to kind of gain that ability. Lastly, we have a Shefet Monitor in here that has just cycling for 4. It's another way to get another basic land that we need, and to fill up whatever color we need, whether it be the triple blue for Hour of Eternity or the double red for the Star of Extinction or the Hour of Devastation. So the sideboard, we're all over the place at the moment. I'm trying to do my best. I'm not expecting too much with this deck. We'll actually queue it up in a league to see how well it does. You can follow along in the comment section as well as in the description, and we'll play 4 matchups. All right, so match number 1. This is kind of an awkward hand, as we have no red source for the Cathartic Reunion, but I think I'm going to keep it with the Champion. We're going to be slow versus Ramunap Red, which is everywhere in the leagues. Last league I played was 4 Ramunap Reds, and there we go, another Ramunap. So I think we'll start off just with the Scatter Groves into play tapped, or maybe now a Rootbound Crag into play tapped. No, this can just go into play tapped. So then we can follow it up with a Rootbound. But yeah, we're going to be really slow with the first turn Soulscar Mage. At least it's not a Beaumont Courier. I think that's a little more powerful. The Sunscorch Desert is going to come into play, and we are going to be taking some damage. Then this turn we can go the Cathartic Reunion. And I'm going to discard the Majestic Myriarch as well as probably the other Cathartic Reunion. As I don't think that we're going to cast the second one. Next turn we have a Champion of Wits, which will cost us a life unless we get another land. We do need to find into a board wipe. There is one right there. We also need to get the Hour of Promise out as quickly as possible. So far we're in okay shape. I'm pretty sure we'll take like a Lightning Strike to the face at the end of turn here. No, okay, so we're in actually pretty good shape versus Ramunap. Pretty quick deck for us to try. I mean, I don't even know if we can get to them. I mean, this deck is pretty good against Teamer Energy with the board wipes, but our early board wipes are pretty bad. We'll go with the Rivulet here. Unfortunately, that does cost us a life. And we'll go Champion of Wits. And throw away, unless our opponent shocks it in response. It did not. That's awesome. Okay, so we can throw away probably this Ruin, or the Oasis. We don't need the Oasis. And possibly another Hour of Promise. I don't know if we need the second one. Or if we don't need the Champion of Wits, I don't think. But that gives us our play for next turn. So possibly we do. So I'm going to throw away the Oasis, and most likely just throw away the... Ooh, maybe just the Star of Extinction. Yeah, I'm going to actually throw it away. I don't know if we're going to be able to really get much value out of it. So now we just have to hang on for dear life here. And it's just me Magma Spray on the champion. That's fine. I'm glad that didn't happen in response to me drawing cards. We take the 2. We're still in pretty decent shape, being at 14, and it's not a play by my opponent. This might be the bigger red strategy, which I would much rather face than the real fast version. So unfortunately, we Rootbound Crag, another one, and we have to pay the 2 life, or pay the 1 life for yet another champion. But this will get us towards the Hour of Promise, which is actually a really good card versus Ramunap. And we'll get rid of a Oasis and Glorybringer. I think so. I think it's Glorybringer because we can get more value. We can probably get rid of this land too, but I want to keep another one in hand just in case. Yeah, I think Glorybringer is the right call because we're going to be wanting to do Hour of Promise next turn, followed up by another Hour of Promise. All right. Again, so far so good, unless Glorybringer comes out. And it is a Glorybringer. That one hurts. See if it exerts. Does not exert. All right, so we take the 4. And we'll play another Rootbound Crag. This time, we get the Hour of Promise, which we need to go get 2 deserts. So we're going to get just 2 Oases, I would say. No, we need a Desert the Mindful and an Ipnu Rivulet. But unfortunately, we might just be too slow. We haven't found what we need as that. Do I need to attack here? I think I do. To get my opponent down. Gonna take out a... Okay, so it's gonna take out a zombie. And now my opponent should exert. And I might just be dead with whatever else is in hand. So that actually hurts because the exert is going to... Yeah, is there a Lightning Strike in hand? Alright, so Lightning Strike just does it. It wins the game. I guess I needed to keep back the champion. I don't know if it would have mattered at that point. But next turn we would have had Hour of Eternity on 2. And could have brought back a Glorybringer and a Matriarch, which would have done what, 6 plus 4 damage. So that's not terrible. All right, so let's go to the sideboard. Of course, Ramunap's a difficult matchup without the life gain. I think we will bring in the Scavengers. Negates are actually okay, and the Stompers here, but we'll keep in like the Hour of Devestation and the Star of Extinction. I don't think we need Glorybringers in here or like Rhonas. I think that we just have to get to the long game, and then the Samut combo will get us there. So we can even take out like a Monitor, or we have Gift of Paradises. I think we want the Sand Stranglers. So Cathartic Reunions can just come out here. I'm going to go down to 1 Hour of Eternity, and we want to get to where, yeah, we want all of our control cards here for sure. So I wonder if Glorybringer does want to stay in versus this match. And 3 cards coming out. I wonder if Champions, if we even care about self-looting at this point with the Champion of Wits. I think it's just too much of a liability. And Yeah, we don't care about Carnage Tyrant, Rhonas, or like a search. So let's keep in one champion. All right, yes, we like to play first. Unfortunately, we cannot keep this hand. We'll have to ship it back. And it's terrible, but I'm going to keep this one. Hopefully we get a good card. Bottom that. I'm actually going to put the Rootbound Crag into play. Well, we can go this into play, tap, the Scatter Groves. We need to get to the Star of Extinction, but we don't have any ramp. No first turn play by our opponent again. We're definitely going to be cycling lands here. Brings in a treasure map. All right, so we're going to cycle the desert. Find another land. And I think I'm just going to run out the Deathgorge Scavenger. As it puts pressure on my opponent. Okay, so at least that's not a lightning strike to the face. We're going to end up cycling the Monitor. Sand Strangler is good here. So, yeah, we'll throw out the Mountain, and then we'll cycle the Monitor at end of turn. I mean, the treasure map is going to be rough for us. It's going to give us our opponent a lot of card advantage. There's a Rampaging Ferocidon, which we can kill. So we'll go ahead and cycle this. And go get just we still need more deserts. So I'm just going to get a Rivulet here rather than Island. And there's a Gift of Paradise, which is nice. Can we cast both next turn? Let's see. Yes, we can. No, this comes into play tapped unless we have an untapped land. So let's go ahead and throw the Gift of Paradise on the Ipnu Rivulet. Do I care about the Rampaging Ferocidon right now? No, I think I can get more value out of it. So we'll go on the Ipnu Rivulet. Oh yeah, we shouldn't have done that actually because of the life gain here. But we can cycle it. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just play this. And next turn we have Star of Extinction. So we get some more value out of the Star of Extinction next turn if my opponent plays cards. But that was probably a mistake to play the should have just done Sand Strangler, killed their Rampaging Ferocidon. So Glorybringer coming down. And we just take the damage. So unfortunately now I think I have to Star of Extinction. Unfortunately the treasure map isn't quite. Out yet. So the treasure map does flip, get some treasures. 3 cards in hand. Now we just need to draw into like our finishers at this point. There's a Chandra. Chandra was a card I definitely didn't want to have to deal with here. But Glorybringer is actually pretty good. We can attack into Chandra. So let's just go Gift of Paradise here. Put it on the Forest. Hit the Chandra. Opponent finds a Scavenger Grounds, which just gets exiled. And Hazoret, which can actually attack. That's rough. And a Rampaging Ferocidon, which is also pretty rough. However, I can exert and kill the Rampaging Ferocidon. But I go down to a 7, which is... I definitely don't want to be at 7. We don't actually have to exert. I can just cast a Sand Strangler. But do I want to save 1 life by exerting? Need like an Hour of Promise here. Or just another way to gain life. Rootbound Crag will not do it. So, unfortunately, I think the right play is just to go Sand Strangler. Attack Chandra, but I am in terrible shape. My opponent has 2 draws, and we just have 1 blocker. And those, no Ramunap Ruins though, but I mean, it's just, my opponent can just start emptying hands into Hazoret. Emptying cards into Hazoret to Beaumont Courier. That's also annoying. As we have to block the Hazoret, the Beaumont Courier does tick up. So now we really need a... It's going to draw a card. We need a gain life spell here, like an Arborback Stomper. And we drew another land. So I think that's pretty much game at this point. We flooded out terribly bad at the end there. I don't think I could have waited for a Star of Extinction. I did play that wrong with the Sand Strangler, though. I should have done a Sand Strangler to kill the first Rampaging Ferocidon and then Gift of Paradise, but I don't know if that would have mattered, the extra 3 life here. Because now we have to block. Yeah, no matter how my opponent attacks in here, I just lose with the Beaumont Courier. All right, so going to the next match. Match number 2. Yes, we'd like to play first. This is another hand I do not think I can keep. We're a ways away from the Hour of Promises. We have a Star of Extinction and an Hour of Eternity. Yeah, we can't cast... I think I'm gonna mulligan it. And this is worse. So we're getting the land floods into land starve draws, and I have to keep this one. Put that land on top. We'll start up with a cycling land, but no blue source for the Champion of Wits. Rhonas is quite dead here. Jeez, it's all Ramunap. Yep, that's this is, I believe, 6 games in a row now that I've played today with that have been Ramunap. So time to sleeve up those white life gain decks. Jeez. There's an Earthshaker Kenra. And we have a Rhonas, but Rhonas is pretty bad at the moment. Our only hope here is to grab like a gift of... I shouldn't have actually even cast that Rhonas because it doesn't do anything. As that is also not a card that we can cast at the moment. That Mold of 5 is going to be the death of us. And the Gift of Paradise does not even allow us to gain life. So I don't know if we can come back from this. If we draw a land next turn, we have the Hour of Devestation, but it's not going to do a lot with our opponent on 3 with a Lightning Strike. Yeah, my opponent just has to do 1 damage here. And there it is. I'll go on the sideboard. So, same old. I think the Deathgorge Scavenger is good here. The Sand Stranglers are great here. The Arborback Stomper. And we just need to go into the control route, so we'll go down 1 Hour of Eternity. Possibly, yeah, I want to keep 1 in. The Cathartic Reunion is actually probably better than I'm giving them credit for. I think they're just better than the Champion of Wits. With all the shocks and magma sprays and stuff, I'm not getting any value out of the champion anyway. Rhonas comes out. The Glorybringer stay in. Sand Strangler stay in. So we'll just go down to 1 Cathartic and submit this. And I apologize for these Ramunap. This is what... It's pretty bad right now in the meta. I think after the Grand Prix finishes, Ramunap was the big winner. And so, of course, now the following week, it's going to be everywhere in the competitive leagues. Which... this is why I do the Rogues Alley, though. I think that Ramunap is it's a deck that can easily be beat. Same with Teamer Energy. I don't think we're in... I did a whole video about this on my YouTube channel, about how I don't think we're in like a very oppressive standard, like Cobblade was, or like Delver was, or I'd even say Mono Black Control during Theros. I think that we're still kind of wide open, but it's sad that everyone just is playing the 2 decks at the moment, just the Teamer and the Ramunap. I think I keep this, but I'm not happy with it with the gift. Well, this is actually a pretty good hand versus Ramunap with the Gift of Paradise. But we got the first turn Beaumont Courier draw, and we are a long ways from that Hour of Devastation. That's also a pretty terrible draw. We will get to race out the Ravager, the dinosaur that we can't gain life. But I need to draw a land. Oh, the double Beaumont Courier draw. That one's a tough draw to beat. And there's an Ipnu Rivulet. That's probably where we want to put. Now we'll put Gift of Paradise on the Oasis. My opponent will shock me. I want him to cast another spell this turn, because we have to go Hour of Devastation. All right, that gives us some value out of the Hour of Devastation. So we'll go red, and wipe the board. Pass the turn back to our opponent. Kind of stuck on lands here. Found the 3rd land, and it's an Earthshaker Kenra. Not too worried about the Earthshaker Kenra at the moment, as we will find another island, which is fine at this point. We'll just throw out a Stomper. And we are back in business. Going to go for a Lightning Strike and a Shock on the for the Earthshaker Kenra to come in here. Scavenger is a great draw, though. So we'll go ahead and start eating the graveyard. Not quite sure I want to use the Myriarch quite yet. I don't have the mana for it anyway. Okay. So now, with my opponent out of cards, has to draw like a Shock or a Lightning Strike, and we've got 3 out of the way here. I'm just going to attack in. I don't know if that's what I would do. Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, it's just a land. Okay, so now we're in great shape. There's a Spring to Mind. We'll go ahead and use that. And just put a mountain. And then 1, 2. We don't have, of course, not the land yet. But we'll get rid of the Karizev. And next turn we have the Mind that we can cast. And so these attacks are just being negated every turn. We still have a few more cards that we can exile from my opponent. Another Gift of Paradise. I think that's basically free here. We'll throw it on another Oasis at this point. And we'll draw 2 cards. I guess that's instant speed, isn't it? I'll throw out a Rootbound Crag. And my opponent found the other shock. Okay. There's a Karizev. I think it's worthwhile just to use the Star of Extinction at the moment. We'll cycle that off, but... And yeah, we'll go ahead and cycle this to see, give us more information. And we'll keep that land in for the Cathartic Reunion. Harsh Mentor. Not really worried about a Harsh Mentor. There is Samut. Yeah, I don't want to use Cathartic Reunion. We'll wait until we have another land for... Well, that was a good top deck. But do we have lethal here at the moment? I'm not sure. We need to find another card. Let's go red, red, or green, green. And just one. We'll go Samut here. Block the Harsh Mentor. Take 5 from the Hazoret. And yeah, we need to draw into another... No, we have the Oasis we can crack. So we should be good here. I think we just win. Another Samut. I see we could Cathartic Reunion here, but I think the right play is just to give the Matriarch green, green. Let's play this forest, green. Let's not use all of our green. To go the Majestic Myriarch. And then we can crack. And is that enough? Yes, plus 3 is 6. That's 12. Yep, that's enough. All right, so we'll go green, green. Sacrifice a desert. And that's 20 damage. Alrighty, so we get the combo off. That worked out really well. Beaumont Courier, Shock, Shock, Lightning Strike, a lot of stuff there. I don't think we do any changes. I think this is the best route we have. You could make the argument for going more Cathartic Reunions instead of maybe Glorybringer. To try to find how well is Glorybringer? Do you know what that probably is? I already submitted though. That's probably the right right play. Another mulligan, unfortunately. Yeah, this is just awful. This one's a little bit better. I'm going to put this on bottom because it's not getting us where we want to be. And there is the Soulscar Mage. So we need to play this. Cathartic Reunion is kind of weird here. Depends on what we draw. I could see getting rid of like the Hour of Promise. No, I don't think I can get... Oh, jeez. Or the Sand Strangler. That's a... My opponent has a pretty good draw again, though. So maybe I do... Yeah, maybe we do get rid of the Sand Strangler because that gives us a target. Ah, no, I just don't think I can use the Cathartic Reunion. We'd have to get rid of this Forest, and that's just too risky. Or the Hour of Promise. Yeah, it's going to be the Hour of Promise, actually, is what we're going to get rid of. So Cathartic Reunion is going to get rid of the Hour of Promise and the Sand Strangler. And okay, we got a Sand Strangler back, so I'm glad that happened. Because next we have the Sanctum for a Deathgorge Scavenger, which will at least give us the 2 life. Unless a Ferocidon comes down. But we're in pretty good shape at the moment. We have all of our colors. And it's just a Earthshaker Kenra. We're still going to take a lot of damage here. We need to find a board wipe. But we do have some life gain, at least in our near future. Hour of Eternity is going to be good later on. We'll go with the Sanctum. Unfortunately, we have to get rid of our own Sand Strangler here. And my opponent loves the shocks. Jeez. Next turn, we have a Sand Strangler take out, like the Beaumont Courier, probably. Hopefully it's not a Hazoret here. No Hazoret, good. There's a backup Hour of Promise. It's just going to be Sand Strangler here. And we will target the Courier. Okay, it was just Mountain and Ramunap Ruins in my opponent's graveyard, so that's not ideal. And Chandra, Torch of Defiance. That was a rough card to draw into. See if it kills off the Sand Strangler. It does. This does give us an action here if we draw into a land. And a Beaumont Courier to follow it up. So, yeah, I think we're just going to be too far behind again. Land is... We have to hit a land here. If we don't hit a land, it's good game. And there's a Star of Extinction. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that is game. The Ramunap's just too quick with these awkward draws. We were having a problem with land drops, for sure. I think you would just have to bring in more life gain. I don't know how, though. We have plenty of life gain. We have the 3 Deathgorger Scavengers, the 4 Gift of Paradise. A Gift of Paradise would have been decent there. Would have hopefully... It's just too... The Ramunap is just too much sheer power without some more hate, I think. But it's tough to think what we could put in here. Whether it just be like early Explore creatures is the only thing I can think of. Just or I guess what we need is Sweltering Suns in the side to take care of this, but yeah, that's rough. All right, we'll go on to another match. All right, match 3. Let's hope we can get a non-Ramunap. I think this is a very risky hand, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it. And don't know where we're struggling with lands with 26 lands in our deck, but struggle is real today. Hey, it is a non-red deck. Let's see if we can beat out either a Godfarrow's Gift deck or a control-based deck. However, we did draw into another non-land, so we absolutely need to draw a land next turn. Otherwise, we are in very, very bad shape. So it is strategic planning. With a Sacred Cat going to the bin. And it's another Rootbound Crag. At least it's a land, other than it comes into play tap next turn. So that's going to mess us up for the Spring or the Gift of Paradise. And our opponent has a pretty strong draw with Chart a Course. Other than they had to, with the strategic planning, found a Fortress and a Cat, which, yeah, there's finally the Angel of Invention. Yeah, so we have to go here. I think we will Cathartic Reunion, and we're going to get rid of Spring to Mine and a Spring to Mine. I think both of them now are pointless when we have double hour. Oh, we can get rid of an hour. Nope, it's Spring and Spring. Okay. So next turn we do have the Gift of Paradise. And the following turn we have the Hour of Promise. So no refurbish into Angel yet. The Star of Extinction is a great board wipe. We have an Opt coming down. And another Plains. So this turn we can go the Gift of Paradise. But we don't have anything for the Gift of Paradise. And we actually don't have the deserts for the Hour of Promise yet either. But we do have Hour of Devestation coming up if our opponent does have a Godfarrow's Gift. No Braids in the sideboard. This is a matchup I just decided I wasn't going to try to have much of a sideboard besides the Deathgorge Scavenger against. Another Opt. Heavy Opt version. But Refurbish can run a low creature count because they're just trying to refurbish the Godfarrow's Gift in rather than have the Gauge the Afterlife find it. So here we can go just Mountain. And unfortunately, this Hour of Promise is quite weak. We can go get 2 deserts, though. Which we're going to get the Oasis. I think just no, we want Desert of the Mindful and the Rivulet. Just to give us those blue sources. And still nothing by opponent. Just going to discard the Godfarrow's Gift because the refurbish wants to happen next turn. So we can Star of Extinction, just take out a Glacial Fortress. I think that's actually a pretty decent plan. I mean, that's kind of the most expensive Stone Rain in the history of mankind, but that's fine with me. As now my opponent does not have a blue source. Which can really mess my opponent up. I still think that's the best line. Oh, has a blue source in hand. Womp womp. Now, the Hour of Devestation actually isn't good with the Angel. Yep. So I should have kept the Star of Extinction. Didn't know there just was one chilling because my opponent just passed the turn without. Yeah. And does go for the 6/6. There isn't another card, though, in hand. We do have some time. To find what we need. I can cycle that away. Or we can just go for drawing cards. I think we need another Hour of Promise. And at this point, we need to go for the best possible way to win. So we're going to get 2 Oasises. Other than I'm not sure that we're definitely going to cycle the desert. Let's just see what we have. Okay, that would be better if we had a Samut in the graveyard. But I mean, my opponent's going to be up to 32 life. We need to get another Star of Extinction. So we actually do have quite a few outs after this. The Minister of Inquiries isn't that threatening at the moment. The Sacred Cat will come back, which we can put a block on the Sacred Cat. We're down to an 11 with Angel. And yeah, so we find the Star of Extinction off the top. That's really good. So we're in very, very good shape now. With just a Minister of Inquiries coming back from my opponent, so there's 7. We can't really cast anything else either off of. Yeah, we're still 1 off. So a Star of Extinction on the island. And we also have the Hour of Devestation that can come up next turn. And just a Minister of Inquiries in my opponent's graveyard. Cycles the irrigated farmlands rather than put it out. That's our little risky play. Wants to hit a blue source. And another Sacred Cat. So the Minister comes in as a 4/4. I'm really interested to see which way. If my opponent's going to mill. Nope, decides to attack in. Okay, so we draw a forest. I think we'll play it out. The more lands the merrier at this point. We can go Hour of Promise. And at this point, we still want, I would say, some deserts. And this allows us also to throw out the Myriarch, as it's big to be able to block the Minister of Inquiries. Now, my opponent might decide to mill here with the Minister of Inquiries rather than attack in to try to find some more cards, but that's kind of like a mill in the dark. And there's only 3 more. Oh, there's another island. Okay, so it found the island. So leaves open for Chart a Course or Strategic Planning. Or just a hard cast on an Angel. A cast out on the Myriarch. But this does allow us to block the Minister. Yeah, kind of an interesting play. Because we will double block. And another Minister of Inquiries. Leaves us in kind of a predicament. With another island definitely not being the card we wanted to draw into. I will play it, because that does allow us to mind. And at least that gives us a blocker with the Champion of Wits. And there's another Hour of Devestation. We can get rid of one of the Hour of Devastations. We can get rid of a Champion in Ramunap Ruins. Gosh, I don't want my opponent to be able to mill. I want it to Hour of Devestation here. But then that leaves back a 4/4 that can come into play. Do you know what? I think that's still the right play. It leaves us just dead to my opponent being able just to cast an Angel, though. So I should have done that the other way around. But I think I need to do this right now. I was afraid of the Champion. Champion was one of the cards that an Angel just wins here. And there's double Angel, and it gets it back. So I don't think I could have played that any other way. Just so much value that Godfrey's Gift. Maybe the Star of Extinction was a bad play there. That's exactly 6 damage. And we just could not find like a Samut or any other one of our finishers. We'll go on to the sideboard here. So we do have a lot of action, though, with the Deathgorge. So I'm going to keep in all my card draw to find it. So the Scavengers are the key card here. We can also bring in Negates, as they're pretty good versus our opponent. The Glorybringers are also very good. Rhonas can come out again. It's just unnecessary. Samut is actually not the greatest in this matchup. We want ways to just dig for our finishers. So, yeah, once again, the Hour of Eternity is probably not a card we care about. I am going to keep the combo in. 3 cards would have to come out. We're just going to go for possibly the Gift of Paradises, or we want the Spring to Mindsers better. I think Cathartic Reunion, just trying to find the Deathgorge Scavengers is better than nothing, but yeah, I think it's I actually do want the card draw. So possibly just some Hour of Devestation still seems good. But it might be the weak link. We might just not need it. Versus what my opponent's doing. Everything that my opponent ends up being a 6 with the Angel. Yeah, it's fine. And we're just going to start off here with a Desert of the Mindful into play tapped. And there's the Minister of Inquiries from my opponent. We'll just do a forest here. I don't think we need to negate anything. So we could go the Rootbound, but it doesn't matter. We can cycle the desert and a turn as well. And attacking with the Minister of Inquiries. All right, that's fine with me. To try to do a chart of course. Nope, okay. There's a Cathartic Reunion, but Champion's just better here. We'll Rootbound Crag and throw out a Champion. I don't think I care about either one of these lands. So let's get rid of some lands. So we want to find a Scavenger as quickly as possible. Start eating away our opponent's graveyard. So now we do need to keep up the Negate. Attacking with the Champion. And just pass turn. We can cycle the Scattered Groves if needed. And go for an opt. And probably mill. And does find a Godfarrow's Gift and an Jeez. Wish I could mill that great when I play Ministers. Finds both of what our opponent needs, but we do have the Negate for the Refurbish. If there is a Refurbish. Just to chart a course? Sure. Another Angel of Invention in the graveyard. So this can be very good if I can get my Deathgorge Scavenger next turn. Cycle the Scattered Groves. We find a Gift of Paradise. That's actually okay. We'll keep the Negate up again. Attacking with the Champion. My opponent will make this block. I'm definitely like this block. Refurbish. Strategic planning and another minister. Another opt. So it's digging for the refurbish. We have to be careful about hard casting of the God Pharaoh's gifts. Just going to hard cast an Angel of Sanctions to grab my Gift of Paradise. That's annoying. Yeah, that actually is really annoying. But we'll be able to get it back when we decide to star. So my opponent's playing a cat and mouse game around Negate. Unfortunately, I think I have to cast the either the Cathartic Reunion here. Yeah, I think it's actually Cathartic Reunion. Discarding the Majestic Matriarch, and unfortunately, I think it's the Hour of Promise. And now we can play the Oasis. And I definitely will throw out the Scavenger and get rid of the God Pharaoh's Gift. So that keeps us away from like Refurbish coming down this turn. Then we can start eating the Angels. We'll have the Negate for when my opponent tries to hard cast. Could be another Angel that's coming out here. Now I'm wanting those Hour of Glories. A cast out on my Deathgorger. Okay. So I'm taking 3. Nothing I can do about that cast out. Another Gift of Paradise. Which one's better, a Spring or a Gift of Paradise? Because we can't do both and keep up what we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think Spring is better here. And we don't need another blue for any reason. But I'm going to grab one anyway. Oh, yes, we do for the mine. Yeah, that was actually good. So, and for the champion. So now we have a Negate that we can hold up. And we have a Star of Extinction that we can eventually play. So there's a champion. Which puts another God Pharaoh's Gift in the graveyard. So we definitely need to keep that Negate up for next turn. Another Oasis. And my opponent will negate it. Okay. Strategic planning. Wow, now my goal is our promise to find a Rivulet of my own. Finds another Champion of Wits. And goes for the refurbish. However, we have the negate. Fortunately, though, we're pretty far behind with the Star of Extinction. I think I have to play it next turn. I don't think I can get. Well, speaking of the devil, we get the Rivulet. Now, I could go Champion of Wits here. Do I just 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? No, exactly 11, though, if my opponent refurbishes another one. So, unfortunately, I have to go Star of Extinction. And take out just a Rivulet. And we'll take out a Glacial Fortress. Hopefully there's not another refurbish just chilling in my opponent's hand. We got rid of 2 of them. Another strategic planning, though. So far, so good. Rootbound Crag, of course, is the last card I wanted to draw into. Is there a cast out in hand? I'm actually thinking there's a cast out. So I don't want to run the champion. I'm going to tap this differently because the Rivulet actually looks like a pretty decent win con at this point. Didn't want that Gift of Paradise for sure. We'll keep it just for the Champion of Wits. No, we have plenty of lands for that. I'll play it. All right, so now we're in pretty decent shape. The Champion of Wits coming back can get us. I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a cycled cast out. That seems like the most useless cast out in the history of cast outs. I don't need my mana. I think a cycling would have been better there. All right. So, my opponent can now hard cast a God Pharaoh's Gift, which looks like is nope, another chart. And throw away a God Pharaoh's Gift because it looks like Refurbish is coming down. All right, found the other Refurbish for God Pharaoh's Gift for the Angel of Invention. So now we're in trouble because it's Angel of Sanctions. That's really trying to keep me off land, but I'm not sure if that's the right play because we just get that back if I do kill it. Yeah, the Myriarch is terrible here. Let's go ahead and throw out the champion. Those are pretty terrible. Or the Botanical Sanctum in a forest. Play Rootbound Crag. And I think this is pretty much going to be game here. We do have another champion we can cast next turn to help. Filter through, but yeah, this is going to be very tough. We know there's Star of Extinction. My opponent has so many Angel of Inventions out, still in the graveyard. There's 3 of them. Oh, only 2. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen here. And I'm down to an 11, so even if my opponent just has a Negate now in hand, which I'm sure that's what the last card is, we just die next turn. So this is a rough matchup. It's very tough to hold up what we need for all of the cards. And we did draw the Star of Extinction, but I assume... No, that doesn't even help us because we will just die to the Angel of Invention coming back. So... yeah, we'd need like a Samut double strike combo here. But like I said, I am pretty sure that this is going to be a Negate in hand. Yep. Alrighty. On to the last matchup, we can win a game. I don't think this deck is quite there competitive with... We did want this versus the teamer. That's the what Murphy's Law here. When you build a deck to combat a certain deck, you will not face that deck. So, see if we can find a teamer matchup here at the end. Okay, match number 4. Another risky hand. No ramp in our hand. A bunch of 5-drops. We're going to keep it, though. As the Cathartic Reunion makes this really good, any one of our Spring to Minds makes this pretty decent. Hey, it looks like we might get our teamer match. And unfortunately, though, it is another Hour of Promise, another 5-drop. And let's see if a Cub comes down this turn. Nope, nothing from my opponent. Just a Hub. Another 9-drop comes down. At least we're still... playing lands, though. We have one more turn to either draw into a land or a ramp spell. And our opponent is also to a slow start, and that Spring to Mind was perfect. Other than, I would have probably preferred... Yeah, we'll get the one of Island here. No, I think I need to get the Mountain. And we're still stuck on all these 5-drops. A lot of cards we can just top deck into, though, to just be out of the situation, and that's one of them. So we have Hour of Promise now, and which does give us zombies. Hopefully this just doesn't get countered. It does not. And so we can get just, we'll get the Desert as well as the Ipnu Rivulet just for the blue sources. And that gives us 2 zombies. And now we have an Hour of Devestation to combat whatever our opponent has. What in the world does our opponent have in hand with Teamer? Bunch of Glorybringers in hand? And to be honest here, I think the card we put out is going to be a Matriarch, because it allows for an Hour of Promise next turn to or a Samut, and this is just devastating. I mean, it's a 6/6. Next turn we have 2 more creatures coming out, which puts it up to a 10/10. And alright, so a Braid. Okay, so a Braid and then Glorybringer takes care of the Matriarch that way. Just a handful of control, and then Harness Lining takes the energy. Alright, that's fine. We have the Hour of Eternity, which can get it back. And so I'm not... I don't think that's a card for 2 cards, basically. Card for a card and a half, or a card and a third of a card. We have another Matriarch here. So I don't want to run out the Matriarch this time because of Glorybringer. So I think that what we'll do is just put out another Hour of Promise. And Harness Lightning again on a zombie. So it was just a handful of control. So I feel very far ahead at this point. And we get 2 Oases this time. Alright, maybe we should have gone to 4 Samuts in this deck. We cannot draw the Samuts to save our life. Samut is lethal here, isn't it? Yeah. The Scarab God, not too worried about the Scarab God. Hour of Devastation is pretty good there anyway. Yeah, we need Samut off the top. It's another Rootbound Crag. I wonder if it's just set the Scarab God back a turn. That's nice of our opponent to just let that go through. And yeah, I think we need to Hour... Well, we could just actually get back the Hour of Eternity on... I could go Matriarch here. Does my opponent want my own Matriarch is the thing. Yeah, I think it's just this. I actually think we're just going to... draw some cards. Cast a Matriarch here. Yeah, that's fine. So now my opponent has to decide if they want value out of the Scarab God or not. And decides not to. Oh, did not have the mana. That was it. Yep. Had to run out the Aether Hub for the black mana. Find another forest. So here we could like pump up the Oases on the Matriarch. Now I'm wishing I would have gone a different route here. I'm going to throw out a Ramunap Ruins. Blocks here, blocks there. I only take... Playing my own Matriarch here pumps it up a little more. Does have the Essence Scatter. Now that's really annoying. But I have 3, 6, that's 12 right here, and I don't quite have the mana to do both. think I'm going to attack it with both. This will probably get the Scarab God to bring out... Use the last of the... Yeah, I'm probably an Hour of Glory after this too. Probably blocks and takes 6. A block like that, huh? That actually does change. Oh, because my guy will die. Yep. And so now we're going to get rid of the Scarab God. Yep, so now I can't cast the Scarab God. I think I'm going to... Ooh, Champion's actually really good here. As we can draw to. Hopefully get us closer to our Samut, but that's pretty awful. I could use the Hour of Eternity right now. I don't think I want to, though. We'll probably just end up milling ourselves. To try to find some moot. There's a Harness Lining. That doesn't... Yeah, I don't care about that. Now my opponent does have the energy for the Scarab God. Vraska. Wonder if Vraska's going to go kill my Gift of Paradise. I can just Ramunap Ruins to kill Vraska here. Do I... We're actually going to kill an Oasis. There we go. We found it. Do I have enough now, though, to cast the combo and just win? I'm not sure. We have another Hour of Eternity, so let's see how much I can dump into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7, 8. So we have 4 creatures we can choose. So Samut, Majestic, and Champion. And none of these matter anymore. Ta-da! We do a ton of damage. Alright, so against this is like the bigger teamer version, the heavy on the control. Look at all that Essence, Scatter, Braid, Harness, Vraska, Scarab God in the main. I don't think we need something like the Deathgorge Scavenger, or even the Search. Search for Azcanta is kind of funny. Carnage Tyrant seems pretty good in this match. How good is it against the bigger energy? Are they running Whirler Virtuosos? Also, does Negate need to come in? I think we want the Carnage Tyrant in this match. Sand Strangler, probably not. Search for Azcanta, that can help dig, and I think it's actually be useful in this particular match. We actually want the Rhonas in this one. Glorybringer didn't seem like there was a lot to kill with the Glorybringer, but I do want the Glorybringers. So Maybe I don't care about the Cathartic Reunions. We'll just grind out our opponent the normal way. And take out a land. I don't even know here. Probably just a champion. Or, yeah, because the Gift of Paradise we still want the Carnage Tyrant. I'm going to go down one Glorybringer. I'm not sure if this is the match where it's going to be useful or not. All right, I'll keep this hand even though it's very slow. If we draw into a blue source, the search is really good here. There's the Attune. Rootbound Crag is slow. And a Servant of the Conduit. Well, we wanted that last turn. We'll play the Desert of the Mindful. We did want the blue source, though. And a Deathgorge Scavenger. He's going to get some value off eating the Spring to Mind. But that's definitely the better play. Probably should have got a blue source there, not another mountain. All right, taking 4 here. My opponent missed a land drop, though, it appears. No. Hasn't played it yet. So running the Deathgorge Scavenger, then we can still hardcast our combo is the funny thing. So we just need to find a board wipe. I do have to worry about a negate here, but if my opponent has a negate, they have a negate. And there it is. So it makes Teamer so difficult to play against. There's just so many cards that they could have. You never know what's in their hand. And now we're really struggling here. We do have some time, though, with the Deathgorge or Scavenger. Hopefully, unless our opponent puts out some more. Nissa. So an Hour of Devestation would be awesome here off the top. Get to Paradise is okay. Gains us some life. I believe that we will just throw out a search here. And we can cycle this away. Does give another non-land. There's an Hour Promise, which can stall for a turn. Nissa getting up to that scry, or up to that 6, is pretty... Yeah, that's concerning. We need to find a Star of Devastation or a Star to... Yeah, Star doesn't work either, because we're going to go down to 10 here. And my opponent has 10 damage on board. So we need an Hour here. There are a few other cards we can draw into. Chandra. I'm not sure I care about Chandra. Yeah, that's... all that's overkill at the moment. So we really do need a Hour of Devastation. We have 2 draws to get there. We have to put the Gift of Paradise in the graveyard, see what we draw. Rhonas is terrible at this point. So we're just dead, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I die here if my opponent just activates and attacks in. Because we do have the blockers. However, we didn't find one of our either Star of Extinctions, which would have worked, or Hour of Devastation, or a Glorybringer there would have... Nah, Glorybringer would have worked because it would have had a Thopter. So... at least we can give our opponent a chance not to see the play with Nissa. Planeswalkers shouldn't give us a problem, though. Both the Hour of Devastation and... yeah, 5/10, can't even block it. Alright. So we get the jump this time. Negate. Negate for the Hour of Promise, I don't think would have mattered. It was just not finding that. Maybe I'll bring in Negates my own, if my opponents can be bringing in a lot of Planeswalkers. Not sure I care, though. Something like Carnage Tyrant out for 2 Negates. Alright, we'll try that. Maybe I don't care about Hour of Eternity in this match. Risky. Risky, risky. I'm going to keep it. We have all of our mana sources that we need. And we do draw into another one, so that's awesome. Oh, still need another one, though, for the monitor. But this allows for a champion or a land. And there's our land. We'll play that. So we just need this Hour of Devastation to hit when my opponent decides to flood out. And we draw these Hour of Eternities like crazy. I can't find Samuts, but find Hours. So here we can just cycle the monitor it in a turn. And grab just probably a Desert of the Mindful here. Because it's going to... a tap land's fine. And there's a Majestic Myriarch. And I think we just run that out because... or we can just run Glorybringer out here. My opponent wants to be playing this Negate nonsense. This will force my opponent to react or to act here, rather than just stay back with a bunch of negates. There's Whirler Virtuoso. Still has negate mana open. So let's throw out a Rhonas then. and just scoops it up. Can't beat a Rhonas. Brought in way too much hate for the non-creature spells. And we actually win a game. That one was kind of boring. My opponent just conceded too quickly there. But obviously the Harness Lightnings were sided out. And just a bunch of control cards sided in. And the Rhonas and the Glorybringer will just be enough to win. So, pretty funny. We did win a game. That is the match I wanted. This is a deck that I built to beat Teamer, and we finally got the Teamer match after frustrating Ramunap and frustrating UI approach. I should have put the Desert that exiles cards in, at least in my sideboard, and then that turns that matchup into a pretty decent matchup, as we can just keep cycling or keep destroying deserts to get rid of our opponent's graveyard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the list. It definitely has some potential. I like the combo. We did see the combo happen twice with getting the Myriarch and Samut. Probably should go up one more Samut, but it is what it is. I think it was fun. And again, that's my whole goal as what I like to call myself, the Rogue Deck Builder or the Rogue Alley, is to showcase new, fresh decks. Standard's incredibly frustrating right now with Teamer and Ramunap. To me, there are many different routes you can go and be successful. Maybe we didn't showcase that today, but some of my Rogues Alleys have been quite potent even in this meta. Teamer's beatable, Ramunap's beatable, all these Godpharaoh's Gifts are easily hated out, and it's just sad that we see so many people playing the same old tired decks over and over again. Well, I hope you enjoyed this brew. You can come check out some more gameplay. We'll update this a little bit and play it over at my channel at YouTube/Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.